Hi, and welcome to the fifth episode of Prerna Reads Poetry. This poetry is also in Hindi. However, before I begin reading, I would like to give you a slight context. So, I wrote this poem sometime over this weekend on Saturday and on Sunday. I was actually listening to this online podcast from the Alipur Post, and there was this poet called Tishani Doshi, and we were discussing about the modern world, and we're discussing about the role of poetry and what exactly poetry does. Now, if we look at any modernist existentialist theories, they tell us that the modern world is devoid of any meaning, in the sense that in whatever it is that we're doing, there is absolutely no inherent meaning. Any meaning that we see in the world is infused by humans. So if you look at theories that are propounded by Albert Camus, he says that the world is inherently meaningless, that all of us are searching for some central meaning which does not necessarily exist. Similarly, if you look at Jacques Lacan, he says that there is no central meaning. He gives a very beautiful example of a dictionary, and he says, let us say that there is a word whose meaning you do not know. So what do? We open a dictionary and we search for the word. Now let us say in the definition, there are other words that you might not know. So it is an endless process. There is no central meaning that you can ultimately come to. And that is what we have in the postmodern world. Now let us look at the role of poetry. What role does poetry play in society? So if you look at your other empirical subjects, for example, if we look at the sciences or if we look at math even, they all seem to serve some practical, tangible purpose. However, that is something that poetry does not do. So what is it that poetry allows us to do? In my opinion, and this is something that will come out in the poem as well, poetry allows you to deal with the harsh reality of the world. It allows us sometimes to either escape the harsh reality of the world, and at other times it tells us that maybe we are not alone in whatever it is that we are dealing with. Poetry gives you multiple perspectives on what is happening in the real world. It is your poets, your authors, that help you create some meaning. They help you generate some meaning in the void. However, if we look at more surrealist poets, and in Hindi, if you look at G.M. Mukti Bodh, he's also somebody from whom the poem is inspired. He talked about Shunya, and he said how all that remains in the world when you keep peeling the layers is a void. So with that context in mind, I will now read out my poem. The poem is titled Thakan, Thakan meaning fatigue, and it talks about what happens when a poet loses that sense of beauty in the world. What happens when a poet goes through that mind-numbing fatigue. थकन, ये दुनिया ना जाने रोज कितनी पहेलियां बुझाती है। दुनिया की इस रीति से अब थक चुकी हूं मैं। ये थकन आम दिनचर्या का नतीजा नहीं, ये वो थकन है जो दुनिया की माया में उलझने से होती है। अब आप पूछेंगे कि कवि साहब इस माया जाल में उलझे ही क्यों? क्या करे जनाब, हमारी तालीम का कायदा है दुनिया को करीब से महसूस करना, वरना ये अल्फाज यूं ही कलम से कागज पर नहीं उतरते। मगर अब जो ये थकन ने जकड़ लिया है तो हाथ कलम को भी पकड़ने से डरते हैं। हम सोचते हैं, बहुत चिंतन करते हैं कि दुनिया में बसे शून्य को कैसे बयां करें। एक दौर था जब कलम पकड़ते ही अल्फाज अपने आप बहने लगते थे, मगर अब उंगलियां कांपती हैं। ऐसा क्या रह गया है अब कहने को? कवियों का काम था दुनिया की असमंजस का समाधान खोजना, मगर जब अपनी खुदी अब दुनिया की माया में खो बैठते हैं तो क्या बचता है? Thank you so much for hearing me out. If you have any ideas, any thoughts, please share them in the comment section, and do like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.